Levin. I'm a council member here in the 33rd District. I'm also a neighborhood resident. The district that I represent is economically, racially, and ethnically diverse, and I am proud of the fact that despite vast differences, the Green Point and Williamsburg neighborhoods have remained tight-knit and community-focused. This sense of community is reflected in our community's public schools, and that is why I cannot support the proposed co-location of citizens of the world for a school in the MS 126. MS 126, under the leadership of Principal Marcus Bausch, is in the midst of a real transformation. Principal Bausch has innovative ideas to improve the school, and I believe that with the support from the neighborhood, from the Department of Education, from everybody in this room, MS 126 will quickly become every District 14 middle schooler's first choice. In order for this to happen, though, MS 126 needs resources and it needs space. That simply cannot happen if other charter schools will have to move into this building at this time. Many of our schools in District 14 are at a critical turning point right now. This is a district that has seen a tremendous population shift over the last 2 years, and that has affected many of our community schools. But parents have banded together to make sure that our schools work for our adult children. At schools like PS 84, at PS 110, PS 34, PS 31, PS 132, you name it, many schools throughout District 14, student morale and student achievement are very high, and parent morale and parent achievement is very high. Families from the south side and the north side and the Green Point are all coming together to ensure that we continue to succeed. And at the same time, District 14 has had to face the approval of numerous charter schools in a very few short years. Not all the charter schools have succeeded, but they have changed the dynamics in our community. And on a note about my role in the City Council, I serve on the Council's Education Committee. And I just want to share that last year in our budget hearings, preliminary budget hearings, in February, when looking at the Department of Education's budget, the budget for charter schools grew from the previous fiscal year in the documentation given to us by the Department of Education. In the preliminary budget, they thought it was going to grow by $70 million from FY12 to FY13. When the Department of Education came back to us for the final budget hearing in May, that number was revised to $120 million increase. It's an increase of $120 million from the previous year. I think it's prudent at this point that we put the brakes on citing new charter schools, because that money has to come from somewhere. Whether it's coming from our whether it's coming out of enrichment programs for our public schools, that money doesn't just come from thin air. So I think that it's appropriate at this time, because that number is going to continue to go up. I want everybody to know that if it's going up, because every year that a charter school is cited, it's cited for the first year or the first 2 years, it continues to grow. So we're not looking at an increase next year of $120 million, we're looking at a much bigger increase than that. So I think that it's prudent at this time the Department of Education to be more selective with proposing charter schools. And I think really what we should do is put a moratorium on citing new charter schools in our public schools, and let's start today with this proposal. I think we should withdraw the proposal. And that's also really important to note is that in this community, the elementary schools thrive in this community. And they thrive because they have dedicated parents and they have a dedicated community that is excited about sending their children to these schools. They're neighborhood schools. PS 110, PS 31, PS 34, 132, all within several blocks. It's because the reason why, and they keep on getting better. The reason that they keep on getting better is because they've reached a good balance. They're all great schools. They all their own school, there's a place for their child to go, and every child's need is met in this district. I think that's something that Superintendent Nikki has done a great job with, and her predecessors have done a great job with, and it's something that this community can be proud of, but it's something that is built from the community on up. And so I think that in respect to community's wishes, the best thing to do at this time would be withdraw this application. Thank you.